Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sohum and I'm on a mission to spread peace, love, and positivity through music. Today I'll be reacting to the Holy Trinity by Tool, and being the Holy Trinity, there's three components to this Trinity. First I'll be reacting to Disposition, then Reflections, and then Triad, I believe. So, when it comes to Tool, any one song is already complicated enough to wrap your mind around, and we've got three, and they're in consecutive order, and they're from the Lateralis album. So I'm just bracing myself for this reality, but I'm excited to get into it. And also, according to the YouTube video, it's going to be a beautiful journey. So yeah, a lot of reasons to be excited. This reaction is a special request coming from Christopher, so thank you, Christopher, for the generous support and this recommendation. Let's jump in. I feel like I should start meditating. Align my 7 chakras. It's beautiful. Whoa. I love this guitar here. Oh, how many layers are we adding? And tabla. I feel like we have, at this point, like 8 to 9 distinct layers that are all happening at once, and I love the way we just built up in that last minute and 17 seconds. We're in for it, boys. The weather change. Mention what to me? Wow. This has so many elements of classical Indian music. This is transcendental. Mention anything. I don't know if I'm going to be able to figure out what this all means just from Disposition here, because we just have mention this to me, watch the weather change, and then here mention something, mention anything, mention this to me, watch the weather change. Very curious what is being mentioned. I guess anything could have been mentioned, and then what the weather is referring to. This is getting chills. Watch the weather change. Got my headphones cranked. Wow. interesting that they decided to use the tabla, the Indian like classical sound. A lot of the chimes that you're hearing, they sound like the bells that you would hear entering a Hindu temple. So it's just interesting that this is I guess, the spiritual medium they're deciding to channel this music through.
Watch the weather.
Nice chords underneath, honestly. Really nice. There's this like really interesting dissonant note on the third chord, I believe. Let me replay one of these. Right there.
Watch the weather change.
Now it resolved. Whoa. And you know something I just thought of is that in a lot of Indian classical music, they do these like really interesting quarter bends, half bends, ghost bends, and I don't think that's what they call it. I just use that terminology from guitar. But they play on these like half tones, semitones that you don't typically hear in Western music. It's almost like in these frequencies between frequencies. It's so subtle. What an experience so far. Feels like just meditative chanting, the voices. Oh, the bending. You know, and it's an interesting thought now, because if it is like a lot of Indian music I'm hearing here, the string instrument, this da-na-na-na, that doesn't sound like a sitar, which would be like the Indian equivalent of a guitar in this context. So just interesting choice, I guess, if I'm trying to make some narrative from nothing. I wonder if this is now the moment we're in reflection. I'll assume we are. Whoa. Yeah. These like bellowing drums. Boom, boom, boom. That's the tabla for you. Or maybe there's another Indian drum too. There's a bhangra kind of vibe, but ooh. Outer space right now. Did we change the note somehow? It sounds like this is progressing, even if it's ever so slightly. very subtle. Where are we going? You're chanting. Wow. Wow. This is really good. If we get like a massive drop, I'll die. I feel it just building and building. That punch, I need it. Oh my gosh. That guitar. Oh, it's like underneath everything. You hear the muted notes. Oh, it's... Bro, this roller coaster. Out of all of the things that I'm going to say right now, I am not sure if this is a pun or not, because when you think of whole, you think of pit, and then pitiful. Pit is full. Full of what? Self-indulgence? But is it also describing the difference in where I am and where the self-indulgence is? Curiously close to the end of life, so now it's time for reflection. I hope I can find peace in the emptiness, because we're in this hole and there's nothing on the other side. It's calling me. I am, guys, I needed to prepare more mentally for this one. This is the kind of song that changes your brain chemistry. drums. Oh my gosh. this entire time there's been this like cheering in the background, and it was more evident in the beginning of Disposition and the transition between Disposition and Reflection, but I hear it now in this verse, wondering what the cheering is symbolizing. It's got to be something knowing tool. I can't imagine they just throw it in there just to do it. When I think of cheering, the like immediate concept that I want to like focus on is like when people have this sense of like megalomania. Celebrities, they become very like attention hungry. There's vanity. I don't know. I'm not going to overthink it, but I'm curious what they're there for.
The moon tells me a secret. My confidant.
Wow. Moon tells me a secret.
Bright as I am. This light is not my own.
Wow.
A million light
Wow.
reflections pass over me. Its source is bright and endless.
Wow. Wow. Who is her? The sun? Life? Love? Wow. I don't know, there's so much meaning potentially that I'm going to be leaving on the table. But immediately what kind of draws my attention is this idea of light and what it symbolizes. And light here, I think, refers to some level of divinity. And there is an infinite source of this divinity. If brought to you, brings the hopeless life. It changes any state that you may be in. In my darkest moments, fatal and weeping, the moon tells me a secret. So I guess the moon is her. The moon is giving me this power, celestial power, divine power. As full and bright as I am, this light is not my own. Wow, so the energy, the divinity that I even have isn't my own. A million light reflections pass over me. The source is bright and endless. She resuscitates the hopeless. Without her, we are lifeless satellites drifting. And maybe this is like, if it is the moon, then there's a gravitational pull that real-life satellites wouldn't be able to maintain orbit around the Earth in the same way and would drift away. I don't get paid enough to do these reactions. My brain is absolutely breaking. Crucify the ego. Or the light could be spiritual knowledge. Going through a warp hole right now. body. There's just so much in these in these lines alone. It's like I could say the same thing about any Tool song. These 4 lines, there's so much meaning, but my God, leave the ego behind on this desolate, evil, cynical world that we inhabit. And if we do that, we'll realize that we are all part of one human collective consciousness that is capable of all. And the ego prevents us from like achieving more than any of us individually ever thought or is possible. We need collective strength, spiritual strength. I don't know what it would look like to have everybody on the same mental wavelength, the same, gamma or alpha or beta or theta waves. There's a bunch of those brains that are good for your brain's health, I guess, spiritually and just physically. Entering those higher states of being seems akin to reaching some level of enlightenment or nirvana. Not that it is the same thing, but let's imagine all of us got to those places and maintained it and stayed there at the same time as the rest of us on Earth. It would look like some kind of spiritual heaven on Earth. My best guess. Drums, man. Sing it, Maynard. Is this a live performance? Is that the crowd? I've assumed this has been a studio version, but it could be live. This is meditative right here. Letting a song like this flow through your body, it gives you this weird warmth. I like that this section just feels like what we may hear just in nature, in the world. And, when I was doing a little bit of research for this reaction, it looks like Triad has no lyrics. So I think the rest of this song, looking like a Reflection has no more lyrics, the rest of this Trinity will be just the instrumental. So we get to really sit in whatever Tool has for us musically. But right now it feels like we're just settling into that nature. after the storm of reflection of just like speaking it out loud into existence, now we have the time to do that reflection within nature, within ourselves. Oof. Frequencies, and you'll hear every so often with these frequencies like this like warbling in the texture of the wave of the sound, and I'm just curious what that is. If it's not just like for the effect, it could also like symbolize this like fracturing of belief, spiritual belief. Or as if you were to tug on like a string, the oscillation it creates. This is like a truly galactic, universal song. Wow. The way that Danny transitions these drums. Because first we were traveling, and then we stayed in one place and built. And he's back again, playing those dynamics. Layer after layer. Ooh. Drums really have a power no other instrument have. Oh my God. Oh my God, are we going into like metal territory with the way that this sounds? It almost feels like we're rubbing up against tree bark. It's like settling like in the lower part of my chest, this sound. Almost like Down with the Sickness Disturbed, the intro there. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Happening. Because there's like so many instruments that are slowly being merged into the song and then they get slowly removed, we have this constant revolving door of like, I don't know what you would call it, just novelty within the track, but also because it's like it's like some kind of transitory feeling, like flowing, slipping in and out of these different feelings. Every time we do that, it's like almost hard to know what's going to be taken out, what's going to be slowly added in. I've been trying to like predict what's coming into each of these sections, and it's just nigh impossible. Is it going to be rhythmic? Is it going to be instrumental? Is it going to be melodic? How are we changing? It's always a combination. Is it a new instrument? A new sound? Dynamic change. It's everything. Oh my god, the drums. Wow, I thought a baby was crying, and then it switched into a melody, like an ancient Hindu melody. I think that's the flute. At least it sounds like the flute. Man, if they played this song at temple when I would go, I would have stayed. Oof, this is so good. Also, I'm not sure if we're in Triad now, or if we're still in Reflection. This is so heavy. Wow. What is this instrument? This melody is like hauntingly beautiful. Harmonic minor. How do you switch into that melody? Like how do you come up with something like that? We were in such a steady place and then we like inserted new melodies into the existing melody. It's like a musical fractal. polyrhythms, the subtlety of everything. Oh my god. This is like spiritually filthy. Syncopated hi-hat. Oh. The crowd goes wild. Is that it? I don't hear anything. Maybe that's the point, for me to be completely left with my thoughts. I'll let it play out, but this was... What are you supposed to feel after something like this? When you guys first listened to the Holy Trinity, where did your brain go after? Did it just like have no thoughts, empty? The meaning of life sprang into your eyes? Nothing happened? You just were left confused, bewildered, in awe? I feel like you can feel any number of those things and probably all at once. I'm like pretty speechless, considering me, like, I talk a lot. If you've listened to any of my other reactions, I talk a lot. But this one leaves me speechless. I did not think we would end the way we ended. I'll say that. Based on the way we started, even throughout reflection, I don't know where I thought we were going to go, but we ended somewhere completely different. And, you know, like my brain is like also just forgetting the lyrics from reflection at this point. I feel like that was just like energy surged through my brain and it surged out, or maybe it's in there, but like everything's on low energy right now. This song took a lot out of me. In a good way. In a good way. Sorry, when I look away from the camera, I'm just trying to think. I feel like whenever there were these transitions in the song from section to section, they were all so subtle that I was almost like spending so much energy trying to uncover what those differences were and how they were making me feel, and like traveling up and down this like journey with Tool. It almost like rips you out of your own like ability to listen to standard music, because when I listen to normal music, normal music, what do I say? What I mean by normal, super loaded word there. But when I listen to, let's say, typical pop music, there are very obvious song structures, right? You have intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, then you loop that, and then you maybe throw a bridge and then the double chorus solo, and then you end the song in an outro. Typically, song structures go like that. Tool, we know, doesn't do that, and they don't do that to such an extent that, like, I don't know what things were choruses, what things were you don't have to. I guess that's not even the point of their music, but to like understand a Tool song musically, you need, in my opinion, like 8, 9, 10 passes, and even then you may not get it, because I'm like listening and trying to just absorb all that I can subconsciously when I listen to Tool. And because there's just so much density to the music that they're playing and to the meaning of their words, it's just like it oversaturates my mind. Maybe some of you guys are more adept with Tool music, or just like further along your spiritual journey where you can absorb all of this stuff like instantaneously. I am not there at this point. I'm striving to get there. I'm striving to improve my knowledge of all things worldly, super worldly. Is that a way to describe the other world above us? Yeah, I'm on my way trying to figure these things out. And Tool, in spades, they exemplify what it means to follow the spiritual path. And their music definitely emulates that too. That's why I say, to understand Tool, you have to do like multiple exercises simultaneously. You have to be able to understand them lyrically, which, okay, how many like sub-disciplines of the world do you need to know to just understand them lyrically? Okay, so that's like one thing. And then you have to understand what they're doing musically, and each of their instruments are doing something insanely different, insanely atypical to what you would understand about normal instrumentation and the way it's played and the way, typical, let's say, Western music can sound like. So you have to rip off all of those band-aids and understand what's going on for each individual instrument, and then do it all at the same time. Now I'm kind of just ranting about how difficult it is for me to do a Tool reaction because of how much you have to kind of absorb simultaneously. And it sucks because, like, I would make it a series to react to Holy Trinity 10 times, but I don't know how that would work on YouTube. People like novelty, So when I think of that, like, I like to listen to new things as well, but things like this deserve deeper dives. So I think that's what I'll do. I'm just going to listen to this again at a later date and try to understand more of what Tool just threw at us, because that was insane. But I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction all the same. If you did, hit that subscribe button. And if you would like to request any reactions for yourselves, hit the link in the description box down below, and greatly appreciate that. But in any case, my friends, have a wonderful rest of your day. What do I usually say? Take care and spiral out.